Hey everybody, it says we're live, so come on in. We're going to do a quick conspiracy theories and chill on Me on Things and Stuff, the YouTube channel. Usually this is a Facebook show, but we're trying it out on YouTube, doing a couple experimental feeds. I felt like doing a feed for Easter, so hopefully you'll come in and check it out. What I was going to talk about today, like I said, is Easter. And I wanted to get into the truth about Easter. And I felt like it would be a good topic for a conspiracy theories and chill feed because it is a conspiracy. Like a lot of our holidays, they're pagan. Easter is no different. Easter is a pagan holiday. Easter is stems from the celebration of the goddess Ishtar, goddess of sex and fertility. That's what Easter's really about. It was a pagan holiday, then it was adopted over into Jesus's death and resurrection. It has nothing to do with Jesus' death and resurrection in reality. Just like Christmas is another pagan holiday. Saturnalia is what that one was, which is the worship and the celebration of Saturn. And Saturn is associated with Satan. And this is all from ancient Babylonian gods and goddesses and mythology. And we are Mystery Babylon. And then the Roman Empire and Babylon never fell. It just morphed and became what rules the world today. It went underground. They went into the shadows and grew their power from there. But we live under the same cultures and with the same pagan holidays like Easter. We're just led to believe that it means something else. But what do you think um, eggs and bunnies have to do with Jesus? I wondered that even as a small child. I would wonder, I liked the candy. I still do. But I always wondered, what does eggs and bunnies, rabbits have to do with Jesus? What does an Easter bunny have to do with Jesus? If this is supposed to be the celebration of the death and resurrection of Jesus, why are we searching for Easter eggs in the backyard and getting chocolate bunny rabbits? It just always seemed odd to me, you know? You didn't get religious stuff for Easter, you got colored eggs. That was the family thing you did. A lot of people went to church for Easter. Easter and Christmas for a lot of people are the only times they go. But this is a little show I do over on Facebook called Conspiracy Theories and Chill, and we usually play a video, but tonight I'm talking about Easter and the truth of what Easter is really about and how it has nothing to do with Jesus and Christianity, and it's actually the celebration of the Babylonian god Ishtar. This is Mystery Babylon. That's why we have these pagan holidays. The Statue of Liberty is also a representation of Ishtar. And, she's based on the Roman goddess Shangaloo. I have the best conspiracies. Well, have at it. Let's go. Bring up what's your favorite? What is your favorite conspiracy? And we'll get into it. Go back and forth. That's how I like this show to go anyway. I like for this to be an audience participation show. I feed off the comments. So the better the comment section is, the better the show will be. But I was just going to talk about the truth about Easter while we waited for people to get going, and how we're living in the upside down. This is the age of deceit. Everything's a lie. You have to search for truth. You have to find it for yourself. It's a lot different over here on YouTube. I'm still getting used to it. I like it. It's just different. But I just felt it was important for, I don't know why. It's like, you got to be the guy to rain on the parade. I'm always the truth guy that's got to come up and be like, hey, by the way, this has nothing to do with Jesus. You can have your celebration. It's nice to have family over and, do all that and have a big dinner and stuff and give gifts. That's all nice and good. But this really has nothing to do with Jesus and it's a pagan holiday. But so is Christmas. So both of the Jesus holidays are actually converted pagan holidays. Die when he really was crucified and when he really did rise from the dead. And they also wish they knew when he was really born because we don't know those accurate dates. We don't celebrate it on the accurate dates. We celebrate it on converted pagan holidays. It's telling me it's buffering. I thought I got a booster, but apparently it's not enough. I'm gonna figure it out. It takes more to run on YouTube than it does on Facebook. Shang Lu says my current fave is when they say a plane crashed into the Pentagon. That one was funny. There's no way a plane crashed into the Pentagon at all. Now, I say at all because you need to look at what the Pentagon looked like before the roof fell. A lot of people remember it as that really big gaping hole with the roof laying down, but the roof didn't fall for like 45 minutes. The plane that supposedly hit the Pentagon only made about a 16-foot hole. And the wings did nothing to the building. The wings just disappeared. The whole plane was gone. The debris found in the yard strewn around, I believe, was placed there by the CIA, and it didn't. I don't think matches up with commercial airline parts, but it wasn't a lot of debris to begin with anyway. It was just scraps. No planes anywhere, no seats, no black box, no wings you would expect to have broken off if because they didn't cut into the building. It wasn't like the Twin Towers. On the Twin Towers, the wings went in like butter. On the Pentagon, they just disappeared. The official story is that they folded in and the whole thing went into the building. And the official story is ridiculous because they say that this pilot, Hani Hanjour, that's the one that was flying the Pentagon one, right? Anyway, he did a 330-degree descending turn that experienced pilots can't pull off in a simulator. It's very difficult maneuver. It's like a fighter plane type. The people watching the military and the civilian, damn it, the screens for the air traffic control, they thought they were watching a military jet because of what it was doing. Anyways, they say he pulled this off and went in just inches off the ground and hit it in the first floor, going 500 miles an hour, plus 500 plus. Shang Lu says the plane that hit the Pentagon had a flame trail trailing horizontal to the ground. It looked like a shoulder-mounted missile to me. Oh, it was the 7 frames or the 8 or 9 frames, whatever they've released. The only images of anything hitting the Pentagon is clearly footage of a missile strike. I don't. I would argue that with anybody. What it's clearly not is footage of a plane. Now they confiscated over hundreds, like I want to say 150 something security cameras from the surrounding area that all had shots of the Pentagon that could have had images of the plane strike. So you would think there's hundreds of images of a plane. Why can't they show it to you? I mean, maybe there's nothing to show you. You know, And that's what they wanted to get rid of. The fact that you can't find a plane coming in on these videos. Because otherwise, why wouldn't they just show it to you? The whole 9/11 investigation well, it's laughable even to call it an investigation, was a complete joke, was really just a whitewash and a cover up. 9/11 was the one that really shook me awake. That's my favorite conspiracy as well, is 9/11. I can go on about 9/11 forever. The whole story's ridiculous, but you're right. The Pentagon is ridiculous. And then to take that a little further, Shanksville is completely ridiculous. The plane just disappears into the earth. There's nothing there. But there's a little bit of debris like bandanas and passports, enough for them to be able to say that the terrorists were on board. That's in the debris. But the plane is gone. The coroner said when he got there, he stopped being coroner in 5 minutes because there was nothing. And that scar in the earth that they show you from the wreckage of Flight 93, that was already there. It was an abandoned strip mine. You can look up pictures of that on Google Earth all the way back to 1994. It already existed. But the whole story is ridiculous. I mean, if you think about it, the official story, people laugh at you for believing in conspiracies, but conspiracies are real. Conspiracy is a real thing. Theories are a real thing. You put them together, still a real thing. The CIA weaponized that term right after the Kennedy assassination and got the media to convince everybody that people that talk about conspiracies or don't believe the official story are crazy. And you should disregard what they say and not listen to them. They walk in single file line. There was like, I don't know, 10 or 11 of them walking in a line across the yard behind some of the news footage. And they could have just been sprinkling that shit, is what I'm saying. And Jesse Ventura was governor at the time, and he was there on scene days after. And they were already resodding the lawn. And he even remarked back then how odd that was. Why are you resodding the lawn right away? They covered up the evidence in every way as quickly as they possibly could. I'm going to have to figure out streaming over here and get a more powerful machine or more powerful internet. I don't know which one it is, but I keep getting errors that it's buffering for you guys. So I don't know if it's distracting or not. I can't really tell from the little sample it shows me up in the corner there, but hopefully it's not. But yeah, 9/11 is my favorite. I could go on, like I said, forever about 9/11. And I think it's an important one because I think it's an easy one for people to um, wake up to. And the reason I say that is because I think that there is an element of 9/11 that they want you to know that something's wrong with it. That's part of the fear of it. Part of your mind is supposed to know that this doesn't make sense. This isn't real. What I'm seeing is impossible, from what you're telling me. That these buildings could just fall to dust from two planes hitting them. That three buildings could fall to dust from two planes. That the Pentagon, the headquarters of the most powerful military on the planet, could be attacked with a commercial airliner. That four planes could be hijacked in the most protected airspace on the planet by the most highly funded air force in the world for 2+ hours unmolested, doing whatever they want to do, going wherever they want to go, hitting whatever they want to hit. And that's another thing. The official story requires you to believe that 19 terrorists, three three amateur pilots hit their targets. 75%, 3 out of 4 hit their targets and were successful. Massively successful, by the way. Hit their targets in a critical manner, not just clipped them. All of them got solid hits. That's impossible to believe, too. That 4 teams of amateur pilots pulling off those difficult maneuvers, because the maneuvers of hitting the towers would have been very difficult as well. That's harder than you think. Try pulling that off in a flight simulator, because from what I hear, I've never tried it myself, but I've watched videos of pilots trying it. It's hard because those planes are not made to fly that low at that speed. They're not fighter jets. These are commercial Airbuses. They're not meant to be going 600 miles an hour at less than 1,000 feet. They start wanting to break apart. Right on. Thanks for the tip. I live in the country, actually. Um, might be part of the problem because we don't get super great internet here, but it looks like I'm still going. I just crashed the last couple times I tried this, and it's got me nervous that that's what I'm about to do because I was getting the warnings before I did crash. But Shangaloo says dedicated suiciders. You know, and people rationalize most conspiracies, like the fake moon landings, 9/11, you can go on and on. They rationalize it with you can't get that many people to lie. What they're forgetting is you don't have to get that many people to lie. Most of the people don't have any idea what's going on. The only people that know what's really going on are the people at the very top. Most people just do what they're told. They don't really ask a lot of questions. They do what they're told and they collect a paycheck and go about their business. So they're not going to be asking a lot of questions. Like, for instance, why was there Israeli art students, 2 groups of Israeli art students in each tower, given full access to the tower, with including the ability to rappel down and inside the elevator shafts, outside the building and inside the building to rappel? Why'd they have all that access and what they need it for? And why are all the pictures of them with bomb fuse boxes? Look into that. There's a lot about 9/11 that's very weird. All the bomb sniffing devices and dogs were taken out of the buildings the weekend before 9/11. There was a complete shutdown, electrical shutdown of the building the weekend before 9/11. A lot of weird vans coming and going. There's a lot that's ignored. A lot of evidence that has come out since 9/11 that all points to the fact that the official story is a complete lie. The official story is the real conspiracy theory. To believe that is crazy. And I think your mind is supposed to know that. I think that's part of the fear of it. Your brain is supposed to know it was wrong. Shangaloo said, did you catch the Ukrainian elections today? No, I did not. I was not following that. I'm going to have to give that a Google. So I just wanted to do a quick little feed. We started off about Easter, but this has become a show about 9/11. That's the fun thing about conspiracy theories and chill. Since it's driven by the comments of the audience, it can become about anything. Usually I start off with a topic, but we can go anywhere we want. But yeah, 9/11's a massive lie. The whole world is just built on lies. And to tie this back in with what we were talking about in the beginning, these are the same people, the people in power, the ones that actually pulled off 9/11, the people that actually run this world, the true power behind the scenes. They are Mystery Babylon. And it's basically here, we're at least the military for that organization, that power. We're the muscle of them. And a lot of people believe that America is Mystery Babylon. I know a hero of mine, William Cooper, was convinced that this was the Mystery Babylon spoken about in the Bible. But I have got to go pick up dinner or I am going to get in trouble. But at least this was a successful feat. I want to kind of wrap it up while it's still not crashing. I don't want to crash and have it get cut off. But thank you guys for hanging out and watching this. We might make this some more regular thing. Like I said, I'm trying it out over on YouTube. I'm trying to learn YouTube and see if I can, get a drawn audience for these videos and if there's any interest for this over here on YouTube. And maybe we'll do them both on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. But we'll see you next time. Thanks, Shangaloo, for hanging out. You have a good evening too.